self-discovery, journey of growth, adventures in leadership. But uncertainties and disruptions happened, forcing us to embrace the new normal. We pause and ponder.
Hi, good day everyone.
Hi!
Hi everyone!
Hi guys.
Kumusta naman mo? So, question number 1. In one word, kumusta ang ECQ experience?
For me, so challenging.
Productive.
Purposeful.
Eye-opener.
Redefining.
Makabalaka siya.
We're adapting to new norms on how we see productivity, on how we connect and treat people.
Nabalaka po with natong mga people nga naa sa hospital pa karon, tested positive. So, kumusta na kaha sila? Naglisod sa karon nga panahon na.
And learn to live the new normal, reigniting our passion, providing care and support system.
Diba? It's very important to have an honest, an open, trusting relationship with some other individual. It doesn't have to be your significant other.
Taking a step forward and deliver what we do best in the virtual space. From the youth.
With those, we learned that instead of worrying about what you can control, shift yourself on the things na ipuhat, na imuhang ma-work with. And despite of those antagonistic phase of life, there's a hope that will truly let us fly. So #laban.
To corporate and businesses.
Just really want to thank you for the partnership again and again. No? And I'm looking forward for another series of great learnings with you next year. And hopefully, we can start bringing back ourselves the normal. We can go back to the camp and really enjoy the facilities. No? But if things are still not going to get better next year, let's continue to do the series of learnings through our virtual webinars. Let's continue to move on with our advocacy to really making sure that our leaders are equipped and we lead with a heart.
And government units.
Allow me to extend my deepest congratulations to the Local Government Academy and to the Ramon Aboitiz Foundation Incorporated for leading and organizing this year's Philippine Local Government Forum as part of the celebration of the Local Government Month. We are extremely honored and grateful that we are made a part of this event.
We all know what has happened to us. Tourism has been the hardest hit by the pandemic, and we find ourselves, we all have to work from home. Found out about your foundation because I was telling my friends about the difficulty of some working from home. They're not as productive as they want to be. So they were saying that you were the ones that helped them. And because of your intervention, their people became more productive. So I'm excited and thank you again for your time having us here. Thank you.
We continue to learn from leadership, virtual and digital hacks, to being resilient while working from home. Taking the extra mile. RAFI Center for Leaders, your partner in developing leaders ready to face the challenge of uncertain times. Book your next learning adventure with us. For over 2 decades, RAFI Center for Leaders has produced more than 65,000 leaders who are now creating positive changes in their communities. This only shows that no adversity can stop leaders from learning, leading, and creating change. RAFI Center for Leaders, developing leaders of change with passion for life and service.
most loving Father, you have brought us to the beginning of a new day.
As our eyes open to the morning light, our mouths praise your beauty and goodness in the splendor and design of your creation.
We accept the renewed gift of life and grace with gratitude.
We offer you our every thought, word, and act today, and pray that it be in accordance with your will and in furtherance of your glory.
Make us instruments of your presence to others.
Use our minds to understand the big picture, our hearts full of passion and purpose, and our hands to build partnerships.
Let us be advocate persons to become architects of change and fulfill our promise of elevating lives of communities and people we serve.
Evening comes, gather us again, safe under the shelter of your wings,
to become architects
to rest
of
confirmed
change.
in your love.
And with the assurance that with your help, we have taken one more step towards a better world.
Amen.
Maayong hapon kanatong tanan. Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining us today and welcome to the episode 3 of the second season of RAFI's Restart webinar series, which aims to provide practical information that will help our community not only survive but thrive in the next normal. So let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Judy Dinople, and I work for the Ramon Aboitiz Foundation, Incorporated, also known as RAFI. This Restart webinar series is aligned with RAFI's vision of touching people, shaping the future. We are now on our third episode for the year. So we would like to thank all of our loyal viewers who have been tuning in to listen to our episodes, and we hope that you found the information useful as we venture into the new normal. So it's been over a year since we have had to deal with the new way of doing things that came with the pandemic. So I think also the need to safeguard our well-being has been highlighted. We have had to learn how to function in exceptional circumstances. And while this can show our resiliency, it can also lead to things like burnout and increased stress. So we'd like to thank you for joining us this afternoon as we hope to equip you with the skills to increase your well-being and live a fuller and happier life during these difficult times. So this session today is in partnership with the RAFI Center for Leaders, formerly known as Cool Adventure Camp. Center for Leaders Learning and Development programs equip leaders and enable communities through world-class, safe, powerful learning experiences. So before we move forward, before I introduce our speaker for today, I'd like to invite our viewers on Facebook, on the RAFI Facebook live stream to rate their well-being from 1 to 10. So 1 as the lowest and 10 as the highest. So we'd just like to know how you're feeling today. How have you been coping up with challenges, maybe at work or your personal life, So please do comment in your ratings on our Facebook page, and our teammates would love to go through it, as we go along the session in a bit. So, all right, so without further ado, leading today's discussion is Mr. Leo Orpiana, who currently serves as the training lead for educators and young professionals in Center for Leaders. To our viewers, if you happen to be a CFL or Cool Adventure Camp alumni, I guess you're already familiar with him. He goes by the camp name of Silver Cloud, So let me just also share some of his experiences, and background. He's been in learning and development work for 14 years. Wow. He holds an online certification for Science of Well-being from Yale University. He is a candidate for Masters in Organization Development or OD at Cebu Doctors University. And he's also an Organization Development Diplomate at Ateneo de Manila Court. He is also certified in the following: Strategic Training and Development, certified in facilitating digital learning at PSTD or Philippine Society for Training and Development, certified wilderness first responder at National Outdoor Leadership School, USA, certified advanced challenge ropes course practitioner at the Association of Challenge Course Technology, USA. He's also a kayak coach with a life-saving Award Level 3 at Singapore Canoeing Federation. And he was also the champion during the Philippine Cutting Competition 2019. No, as we all see, he really loves the sports and the great outdoors. No? So please help me welcome with a virtual round of applause, no? Sir Leo or Piana. Sir Lee, are you there? We're so happy to have you here this afternoon. And thank you joining us.
That's right. Hey, Judy. Mayong hapon. May I say you look blooming this afternoon? Uh-huh.
Balik mo bagay, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. And then, hello, everybody. No, mayong hapon. Good afternoon. My name is Leo, and I'm from the Center for Leaders of the Ramon Aboitiz Foundation, Incorporated. I am very happy to be here, and I appreciate you being here this afternoon. No? And for all of our viewers in Facebook, welcome to this session. To all the my teammates in RAFI and in CFL, hello. For all the campers and alumni of our CFL courses, mayong hapon. And of course, I'd like to greet good afternoon as well. Who is watching? The love of my life, my love, hello, good afternoon as well. Welcome everybody to this session. I am excited to share with you these well-being habits for a happier and fuller life, even during these times of crisis. No. So my challenge for this afternoon is to share with you a 30-minute version of my 2.5-hour well-being habit session with the RAFI Center for Leaders. So it's going to be a compressed one. And I'll be referencing a lot from Yale University since I've completed their course on the science of well-being. I'll also be citing some studies coming from positive psychology and with Gallup, and also with the Ateneo Court. I'll be referencing a lot from them. Okay, so if I'll just share my screen in a bit. Okay, there. I hope you're seeing the screen already. Fantastic. Okay, so I've been running this course since last year for corporate organizations, Step Ed, and the RAFI teams as well. And this is something that I was really inspired to share, because during these times of pandemic and times of crisis, I was really looking at how can we increase and improve our well-being, especially as what Judy said a while ago. There's lots of talk about burnout, about stress, especially we have a whole year already of doing work from home, which is a totally different animal and with different challenges as well. So this session is designed for that one. So for the habits, as you can see on the screen, I've divided them into 3. So basically, there are habits that is geared towards more for the mind, for the body, and also for the spirit. So this is what I've been doing before the pandemic. So as what Judy said a while ago, these are the things. I've been doing lots of professional development programs using adventure and experiential education, doing lots of using the tools for training, the ropes course, expedition programs, and the games and initiatives. But that was pre-pandemic. So when the pandemic came, this is what I've been doing. I've been based in my house in Talisay, and from outdoor trainer to online trainer and facilitator. Now I'm focusing more on well-being, resilience, no, and engagement, and also team development. And during this time of pandemic, I had to adapt. No? I had to adapt and surf this COVID tsunami of a wave. No? I too experienced some anxiety and mental stress during the start of this pandemic. And I found that applying these habits to my personal and professional life increased my personal well-being, and it allowed me to find fulfillment even during these times of crisis. I was able to make my own meaning and able to make my own uh, purpose. No? Because I find that the work that I am doing now, I am, even if it's online, helps and makes a difference to the people that we serve. No? Hence, I need to have good levels of well-being to do so. During this pandemic, our tools have changed. No? So for me, from doing primarily a face-to-face and adventure, now online, no? And then online adventure, as we would say. But the RAFI mission of enabling people to achieve high levels of well-being still continues. No? So that's what fueled me to keep going and to find ways to be able to help and make a difference in others. No? And hence, I was inspired to create this 2-hour session. But for this one, it's going to be a 30-minute version. Hence, I welcome you all to Wellbeing Habits. I hope you'll be able to pick up buckets of information that may help you thrive and have a happier and fuller life during these times of crisis. So let us jump in. All right. So when we say well-being, okay, well-being and happiness, they are a little bit intertwined. Happiness is more of a mood state, no? And well-being is a state of being well. When you say happiness, it's a mood state and not a destination that one can stay. It's not like height that you can achieve and that you're that height forever. It is described more as a delicious coffee inside a leaky cup. No? So we can plug some of the holes, as you can see there on the screen. You can plug some of the holes of that cup, but eventually some of these happy juice would leak out. And that is the bad news. Inevitably, mood states leaks out of us, okay? But the good news is that it can be refilled. And then that is our challenge, and that is our question for this afternoon. So, Leo, how can we refill our happiness or well-being cup? And that is our attempt to answer. That's the challenge for us now, is to present you with these well-being habits as a tool for us to be able to refill our happiness and well-being cup so that we'll be able to perform at our peak, and then we'll be able to serve and be at our best, for our loved ones and for the people and communities that we serve. So I hope that you're able to answer the question a while ago of Judy of rating your well-being. So in your chat box there in Facebook, please do rate. We would like to know, what is your well-being? 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. Now, please do let us know. And then my friends from RAFI and from Center for Leaders, they will let me know what is our overall score, because I'd like to know how are you this afternoon. Okay, so for those who have answered, thank you. For those who have not yet, please do chat in the comments your well-being rating, okay? 1 to 10. Okay, good. So let's jump in, and we've talked about habits and well-being. Now let's talk about we talked about well-being and happiness cup. Let's talk about why the focus on habits. Okay, so why habits? So let me share with you the happiness ratio, which is 50, 40, and 10. This is a work by Lubomirsky, Sheldon, and Schade, and this is an approximate number to determine happiness. So they were looking at what determines happiness, and they found this happiness ratio. So what it basically says is that 50% of our happiness comes from our biology and our genetics. So mean to say how predisposed we are for happiness or for sadness. And reflecting on this one, I definitely know some people who actually have lots of misfortune that happened to them. lots of reason for them to hate life and not smile. But I would see them being cheerful and really enjoying life still, in spite of the things that had happened to them. And I would say that, yeah, for those people, maybe they have higher levels of happiness in terms of their genetics and biology. I also know some people who has lots of things going for them, lots of fortunes, lots of blessings that have happened. But at the same time, uh, they're displaying more of they're not displaying happiness, no, and not seeing happiness in them. And perhaps these are people who have lower in terms of biology or genetics. So that's 50%. Now 10% are the things that happens to us. Now, these are the things that are out of our control. If you win lotto, no, that is in 10% life circumstances or life events. The thing here to focus on is the 40%, which is intentional activity. So basically what this approximate ratio, the happiness ratio, 50, 40, 10 means is that 40% of our happiness is within our control, okay? Within our control. Our intent, our intentful activity. So I mean to say, our personal well-being and happiness is within our locus of control. We can do something about it. And developing these well-being habits are definitely within our control. So that's why it's good to focus on the things that are within our control and we can do something about. And I tell you, for these 8 habits that I'll be sharing with you, these are things that you can definitely do. And many of them doesn't cost you anything. Okay. Now, the next thing that I'll show you is a cognitive bias, which is a G.I. Joe fallacy. Okay. So G.I. Joe before, they have a fantastic saying. For those who lived in the 80s, they had a fantastic saying that knowing is half the battle. And in modern times, we see that this is not true. This is a cognitive bias. Knowing is not half of the battle. Maybe only just 20 or 25%. A big deal of it is really in the application and in the execution. Like for example, if Stephen Curry, the basketball player, will tell you the secret on how to shoot from half court, it doesn't mean that you can shoot from half court already. No? So you know that it needs lots of practice and tons of and many repetition. So why am I sharing this? Because sometimes we know a lot, but the question is, are we applying these things? So these habits, perhaps you know them already, you're quite familiar with them. And then the question now is that, are we applying them? Are we applying what we know into doable habits? Okay. Because for us to be able to make the most of it, we have to do some rewiring in our mindsets and practice these habits that would lead to success in our endeavors. All right, good. So our friends from RAFI and TFL, we're seeing some averages in terms of your rating of well-being. Some of you have 8s, I'm seeing 5s, and I'm seeing 6. And then there's also some people who rated 5, 8. This is good. It's quite varied. And it's quite interesting because in some studies in Yale, they're saying that those who had lower levels of well-being, being able to practice some of these actually has the biggest to gain. So those who answered 5, if you practice this, you will have the biggest to gain. But of course, those who answered 8 also are fantastic, and you're almost there to really improving and boosting our happiness levels. Okay, good. So these are the habits, and I have a disclaimer. I am not a master of all of these habits. Okay, I have not mastered them. I have put some into practice, and I put some into my bucket list. And there are habits that I'm doing well, that I'm showing good results, but there are also habits that I am struggling with. And same with you, the challenge is for us to start. Start with the habits that you are already practicing, habits that you are already seeing good results, and expand from there to the other habits. Okay. Now, let's get on. So the first 2 habits, this is with body. So these first 2 habits, these are quintessential panacea happy pills. Okay, so mastering these 2 habits would definitely bring impactful results to our well-being. Okay, so first up is with exercise. Okay, so you all know that exercise really helps us. It has the cognitive effect, no, for us, and it really helps address physical and biochemical sources of being unwell. No? So it releases powerful happy hormones, no, of endorphin, serotonin, oxytocin, and dopamine. No? So these these powerful hormones helps us, no, regulate our mood state, no, and also increases our well-being. And then I'll share with you a study. Okay, this is from Babyak and company back in 2000. And what they did was that they gathered 156 people suffering from major depression, and they put them into three conditions for 16 weeks. So first condition is exercise only. So 3 times a week for 30 minutes. And the other condition was they just gave them medicine only, antidepressant, zone off. And the other one is a combination of exercise plus the medication. And they had very interesting results. Okay, so as you can see here, very interesting, because those who are in the exercise only condition, we've seen a 90% rate of recovery. So that is huge, and very minimal partial recovery and very minimal relapse. Okay, and in medication, we're seeing that it's about 55%. Those are recovered, but if you look at the relapse, it's quite high, and combination has slightly higher recovery and slightly lower relapse. Okay, so what is this telling us? No, na for those who had major depressions, exercise proves to be a very important tool in boosting our happiness levels. But for us who may not be experiencing those things, it may have a bigger impact on us. Now, I have to also give a disclaimer. If ever, for some reason, you have some disabilities, you cannot do exercise only, and your doctor gave you some medications, no? Especially antidepressants, so please do take them, okay? But if ever you can do exercise, it's good also to combine, as what we are seeing there. Okay, so during these times of crisis, find an activity that you love and do it as often as possible. No? So if you like doing TikTok, no, go ahead. Just make sure that you are really huffing and puffing afterwards. If you're playing basketball or playing with your kids, even, no? If it makes you sweat and makes your heart pump, no, that's good exercise. Do it as often as possible. And it's also good to do the idea of WOD. No? WOD is WOD. So this is workout of the day, borrowing from CrossFit. It's a fantastic idea as well. No? So a good question for us to think about is that how often do I exercise, especially during these times of crisis, especially when you're feeling bad, how often do you exercise? Okay, good. The next one, this is sleep, okay? And studies have shown that if you want to have a habit that will make you look good and feel good, and it's free, sleep is one of the best things to do. It enhances mood, performance, memory, creativity, and idea generation. Okay, and they're saying that 8 hours, that's a good time, and anything that's good normal levels of sleep, and anything that is below 5, that is deprived sleep already. Okay, so Dinges and the company had this study wherein they found that if you see here, no, the one in white, the normal, they've logged in lower complaints of physical and emotional. No? They've said to have lesser physical and emotional complaints compared to have restricted sleep, as you can see here. And in the other one, no, you can see that in terms of those who are normal, their POMs, this is a profile of mood states, specifically for Vigor. Vigor is strength and health. As you can see, for normal sleep, it's right there, not to 15. Okay, and then for those, if you have restricted sleep, it actually goes down, the Vigor. But if you return to normal sleep, it then increases up. So avoid sleeping pills, no? Because lots of celebrities and lots of people who had very unfortunate demise, no, with sleeping pills. Limit your coffee after lunch, remove distractions, and if above all else, take naps. Now, this is also a rule that we have with my wife, no, na before sleeping, no, don't look at social media already. No? Because sometimes there's something that is toxic that or something that's fearful that will trigger your anxiety, and then you may be waking up in the middle of the night sweating, and then that will ruin your sleep patterns. Okay, so something to think about, and if you are okay, you can put in the chats as well. Are you having normal sleep patterns? So I mean to say, are you having at least 8 hours of sleep every day? Are you deprived sleep, or are you oversleeping, which is a reality for some people? Okay, which is also bad. Okay, good. So that concludes our habits for the body. Now we move on to habits for the mind, or the psychosocial. Okay. So first up is with savoring. So savoring, in Tagalog, this is namnamin. Okay. And in Bisaya, no, this is tagamtam, no? Tagamtamon. And this is really about being there at the moment. No, for example, I know it conjures up lots of images about food, no, which is very much related. No? When we savor things, we savor a fantastic soup, we savor food. We are there 100% in that moment and experiencing the awesomeness of the food that we are eating. Now, it also extends to experiences and with the things that we have in our life. Now, these habits address the sad part of being human is to get used to the sources of joy. What used to give us lots of joy tends not to be as the same level as we before, and we tend to miss out on the awesome things and experiences in life. No? And Jose and company back in 2002 had this study. They were looking at, so what are some activities, thoughts, mindsets that decrease and increases savoring. So in the chat, try to look at the statements here, the mindsets or activities, and try to see how many of those happens to you when you are experiencing something awesome. Okay, something fantastic, and then try to see how many of those are you experiencing. So let me call on Judy. Judy, are you there? Judy,
Yes.
hi. Hello again. Yeah. So Judy, so looking at the study of Jose and company, no? Whenever you're experiencing something awesome or fantastic, does some of these statements come to your mind?
Yep. Among these, Sir Lino, I think what resonates to me, like what comes first to my mind when I experience something awesome is when I thought about ways it could be better.
Oh, okay.
So
All right. Yeah. That's
the-
right, no? Yeah, that also happened to me before, to me and my wife. No? Now, when you were all eating, I was cooking something delicious. No? We were cooking some steak, and then we're very happy and excited. And then we tried to eat it because we're watching so much MasterChef. We tend to critique the steak, no? And then, oh, you know what? It's a little bit overcooked here. No, it needs some seasoning there. And as a result, we did not actually enjoy. No? Did not savor the steak. No? And therefore, the next time we had an agreement that we just eat first and enjoy it, no? And then we will not critique it. We'll talk about the critique. How can we make it better later on? Yeah. Thank you, Judy, because these things that is written down here, according to Jose and company, these are activities or mindsets that decreases savoring. Okay, decreases savoring. So each and every time we have something fantastic that happens to us, we'll be thinking already now, when will this be over? No, we remind ourselves, this will not last forever. No? These are things that will pull us away from that present moment, and will prevent us from experiencing it fully. No? And this is definitely connected to our description of this course. No? Na this prevents us from experiencing life fully if we don't savor them. No? So watch out for these thoughts and mindsets, because this may be the things that prevent you from experiencing life fully. Okay? All right. Okay, so the next one. Okay, let me call in Judy again. Judy! Okay, so this is the next set. So look at these statements. Okay, what statements here resonates with you as well, no? When you are experiencing something awesome or fantastic?
Mm-hmm. Well, certainly, no, I think when I'm in the moment of fulfillment, the first thing that I feel is really I told myself, how proud I was. How proud I was with myself from achieving that, even a tiny milestone. No? So I think yeah, that's the thing that resonates to me the most. Like
Yeah.
I want to appreciate myself from those small
Fantastic. Yes, thank you, Judy. No, definitely. No? So giving ourselves a pat in the shoulder and saying good job, no matter how small or big it is. No? Appreciating ourselves definitely increases savoring. And while I was making this, and I really gravitated also to I laughed or giggled. No? I really, the thoughts about the late John Ramon Aboitiz really comes to mind. No? So JRA, as we lovingly call him, he was the former president of RAFI. He had such a big laugh. He had such a big Santa Claus laugh. No? Dili siya mag-ho-ho, but when he laughs, it sounds like Santa Claus. And whenever he's around, it's like Christmas. No? He really laughed out loud, and he really savored the joy, and he really savored life. No? And that was something that I really admired in him. And it reminded me when I saw this one of laughing. I laughed or giggled, really laughing out loud. And again, during this time of pandemic, this time of, it's very important to really be fully engaged in the awesome things that we have, no? Because this will really help us in terms of experiencing and making sure that we are fully there for the awesome things in life. And then take time to rhapsodically engage the senses and in your awesome moments. For me, one of the things that I really do to really savor is through scent. No, my pet peeve is really with scent. No? So I really smell my wife's forehead, no, and then sometimes she doesn't like it because I smell her ilok, and it's something that for me increases savoring, and I really also savor the scent and smells of my pamangkins and everything. So whatever that engages the senses, no, this is something that you have to really maximize. No? All right. Okay. So, yeah, and then a good question and a reflection for us is that what is something awesome that I have savored lately? So, looking at your life, try to think about it. No? What are some of the things? What are the awesome things in your life right now that you have savored? Yes, it could be a hug from a friend. It could be the presence of your loved ones. What are the things that you have savored lately? Okay, good. Okay, next one. This is with connection. Okay, so this is with connection, and one of the things that this habit really helps is with the disruption of our social life and feelings of isolation. Now, according to Ateneo, in one of their studies, is that Filipinos view work as their second home and their workmates, okay, as their extended family. Okay, so you could imagine what happened to all the workers when the pandemic happened. There was really their social life was disrupted, and there's a severance. No? That's why there's a longing in terms of seeing our workmates, because it's like we haven't seen our family members for quite some time, and sometimes this also brings about feelings of isolation. Okay, and the study that I'll be showing you, this is from Diner and Seligman back in 2000, and they were trying to find correlation between social relationships and happiness. And this is what they found out. For happy people, they found that they have close friends. Okay, they have close friends. If you have one or two, that is fine, as long as it's more than zero. If it's zero, then it's something that perhaps we need to work on. So happy people tend to have close friends. Okay, strong family ties. Okay, and most importantly, as you can see there, a very big difference between happy people and very unhappy people is in terms of romantic ties. Okay, so for all the single people out there, don't worry, it's romantic ties. It's not romantic relationships. Okay, so if you have an MU, if you have a fling, or if you connect with somebody in a deeper level, that's fantastic. That is good. That's basically what it means with romantic ties. Okay, so during this time of pandemic, it's very important to relive our connections, no? Strengthen our connections with each other. The good news is that this pandemic happened during the time of the internet. I cannot imagine if this happened, when there's no internet. I don't know how we'll do it. But right now, we have the internet, a chance for us to really connect with each other. So it's a time for us to hyper-connect during this time of physical distancing, okay? And it's also fantastic to get to know strangers in our organization, okay? Because it is an opportunity for us to refill our happy juice, okay? So a good reflection for us to think about is that, whom did I connected lately, okay? And when was the last time I connected with somebody new? No? So, because one of the things that the study also shows is that if you connect with strangers, it actually gives us a boost of happiness as well. Okay, the next in terms of psychosocial is with kindness, and for this habit, it really helps, with the strife, stress, and hatred that we see all around us, and also in social media, and uh, it's good to find correlation between kindness and happiness. No? And one of the things that I'll show you is the study of Otake and company back in 2006. And Otake did this study in Japan, of all places, wherein, according to Gallup, they had the lowest in terms of engagement. And they also had the highest in terms of burnouts and suicides, because of work. And he was trying to find out, is there a correlation between kindness and happiness? This doing kind works makes people happier. And it turns out that it did. According to Otake, they've seen that those who are happier tend to be more motivated to do kind works, recognizes kindness in themselves and in others, and they are doing more kind behaviors. So at least for Otake study in Japan, it seems that doing kind works gives happiness. And this also reminds me of what's current right now, with our community pantries. I'm looking at their faces and those who are doing volunteer work. And for those people that I remembered as well when RAFI was doing relief operations, very, very tiring work, very thankless work, but I can see their smile and I can see their deep happiness that is within their soul. And it reminded me that perhaps this is something that they're getting something out of it. And perhaps it's this, it's that correlation that when we do kind works, it actually makes us happier. And further reflecting on this, it reminded me about Don Ramon Aboitis, our founder, when before making RAFI, he did lots of philanthropic works. And if you go to their house, the Don Ramon house, if you see there pictures of Don Ramon doing philanthropic works, you can see a smile on his face. And it seemed that it gave him happiness doing so. And then that also that affirms that the people that I've seen who's doing volunteer work also does have that same smile. So it must be giving them something, that's making them happy. Then I also reflected that, hey, most people that I know, most of the kindest people that I know, they are not financially well off. They're a bit poor. And then I realized that, hey, perhaps what they're giving, what they're being kind of, is not money, but it's with time, it's with their presence, it's with their affirmations, it's with them, it's them appreciating others, it's their kind words that they are giving instead of money. So it really reminds me that this kindness habit is a happy pill that the rich and poor partake. And then it is, I think, also when you give kindness, it actually gives something back to you, perhaps even more than those who receive your kindness. And so, an interesting thought. That's why there's a picture there of kindness and having that arrow there that it actually goes back to you. So in the chat box, no, or try to recall, no, when was the last time you did an act of kindness, be it through your actions or through your words? No, it's something good for us to think about. Okay, now we're down to our last three. We're going to spirit, no, spirit or our soul, no. Okay, so first up in terms of spirit is with gratitude. Okay, and then while I was crafting this the 2.5 hour course, no, this quote really rang true to me. No, a happy soul comes from a grateful heart, and rightfully so. No, during last year, I will remember that I did lots of just listing down all the things that I'm grateful for, and sometimes I post it on FB because during that time it was a bit toxic ang mga post, like to just post something that is more positive, so just post some things that I am grateful for. And then I noticed that there's also a change in me, wherein I my anxiety levels also went down, and my happiness levels also went up. So definitely so, doing looking at things that we are grateful for really boost our happiness levels. Now, Emmons and McCullough, back in 2010, they did a fantastic study wherein they put respondents into three categories. No? They asked them to just list down. One category is that one condition was that they just list down all the things that they are grateful for. The other one is that they list down only the things that hassle them. What were the things that was a hassle for them? And the next one is that they were asked to just write down all the events that has happened. No? Just write down events, nothing more. So what they found out was that those who list down all the things that they are grateful for saw that life as a whole was more positive. They looked at life as something more positive compared to the other two conditions. They also viewed the upcoming week. They looked up to the upcoming week with much gusto, and they reported lower physical symptoms. And they did more exercise than those who just written hassles and events. So at least for this one, it seems that for us focusing on gratitude, thinking about the things that we are grateful for, shifts our attention from our anxiety and for our worries to things that we have and the things that we have gained rather than on the things that we have lost. So for us to be able to shift our focus, thinking about gratitude gives us a boost of happiness. Okay. And then, because sometimes the happiness that we seek maybe is already within us or within our area of control. Okay, very short practice. No, close your eyes, please, everybody. Very short. Close your eyes and ask yourself, at this time, what am I grateful for? What am I thankful for? Okay, so close your eyes. Think about it. During this time, what am I grateful for? What am I thankful for? And if it's okay with you, you may share it in the chat box so that others may benefit. But let me ask first, Judy. Judy, while you were doing it, what images were conjured up? Is it a who or a what that came to your mind?
Wow, certainly both.
Both. Oh, fantastic.
Of course, I'm really grateful, for the who, for the people, for the friends, of course, and I'm grateful also for having to enjoy my coffee earlier, though. So I'm really grateful for those little things that even the busy life, I'm still able to do those things. So
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judy, for sharing. No, and then I don't know if you noticed that when Judy was sharing all those things that she was grateful for, her face actually lighted up. I don't know if you saw it, but I saw it. So this is really the great thing about thinking about the things that we are grateful for, things about gratitude. It's kind of powerful, no? That it shifts our focus from the mundane, the bad, the sad, or the things that we have lost, to looking at the things that we have and the things that we have gained. Okay, great. The next one, the last two, second to the last, is with meditation. So when it comes to meditation, this is the practice of turning away from distracting thoughts and toward to a single point of reference. No? It could be breathing, body sensations, specific thoughts, or values. Now, meditation could also be thought of as mindfulness. And in the Philippine setting, this could be prayer. Okay, so prayer can be a form of meditation. Okay, and this really helps us with the tendency of the mind to wander. And because we're in a time of crisis, it tends to wander more towards the negative than the positive. So meditation helps us to focus on the things that thinking and imagining a happier future. Okay, now Fredrickson and Company, they did a study on this one, and they look at those who did meditations and the control that did not do meditation. And quite interesting is their results. Now, as you could see at first, the control said that we said to have higher positive emotions compared to those who are doing meditation. Perhaps it's a bit of a challenge to sit down and focus on something else. But as you could see later on, the control report about positive emotion drops. And then over the weeks, you could see that those who are doing meditation actually increases. No? And what conjures up into my mind when I think about this are the monks, no? the Buddhist monks, no? Those who are doing meditation. They seem to have a happy smile on their face, and they seem to be more content with their lives, and they seem to have inner peace, which is a very big commodity during this time of pandemic, during this time of crisis. Inner peace is very important, no? And it's something that most people don't have, no? Inner peace. And my thinking is that doing meditation allows us to have some peace. Okay, so what is recommended is that perhaps you could do just focusing on LKM. So this could be love, kindness, meditation. Just focusing on what are the things that you are that you love. What are the things that you think about kind thoughts. You could also pair it with maybe thinking about gratitude, thinking about savoring things, no? And thinking about who you'd like to connect. And I would say that these are happy meds, happy meditation. So thinking about a happier future allows our mind to focus more on the things that are positive and to prevent the growth and the explosion of anxiety and worries in our minds. Okay, so with this one, I'll leave you with a quote, no? That focus determines your reality. So whatever you focus on, that will be your reality, fortunately or unfortunately. Okay, good. Lastly, this is with goal setting. No? And then you might ask, Leo, many of my plans were dashed, no, during this time of pandemic. I plan to go here and that with my family, with my friends, with my loved ones, but I have to cancel because of the pandemic. That is true. And then it is, however, what has been shown is that having a goal in mind allows us to look forward to a happier and brighter future. And this has been shown to be something that is very powerful, no? Because it takes us from what is maybe an undesirable state, no, right now, to a more happier state, no, in the future. And it allows our mind to relax a bit and allows our mind to focus on something more worthwhile, which is a goal. Now, and the other important thing about having a goal is that it gives us a win during this time of pandemic. And it's very important, that concept of having a win, especially if we have lost a lot, lost our way of life, lost how we do things before, lost opportunities, money. It helps us to focus more on the future rather than on the past. And it allows us to get a win, which is an important aspect. During last year, one of the things that I did so that I can get a win, I can say to myself, good job, even we were shut down and we had the ECQs and everything, was to challenge myself to do 100 push-ups a day for 100 days. Okay, and every day, I was able to complete 100 push-ups. I gave myself a pat on the back, say, good job. No? So we did a win. We had a win. And I found that it boosted my levels of well-being and happiness a bit higher. No? So also make your goals more visual. So if you're visualizing okay, and, my goal is that me and my family after this pandemic will be going to somewhere abroad, let's say Singapore. So make sure that you have that in your mind. Have a picture of it in your desk or in your phone so that you'll be visualizing a better future. And studies have shown that this is something that will definitely help us. And to help us achieve that goal, I'll share with you this book from Gabrielle Oettingen, Rethinking Positive Thinking. And she created WOOP, the WOOP method, which is wish, outcome, obstacles, and plan. So what she's saying is that for us to be able to make our goals into reality, you have to use WOOP. So think about your wish and make sure that it's very specific. What do you wish to happen? So for example, that one, I'd like to get my family to a family vacation to Singapore. And then think of the best possible outcome. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. All my family members who were there will be very happy. We'll take lots of pictures, and it will be something that the kids will remember throughout their whole lives. And then think about the potential obstacles. Okay, so I have to think about vaccination. I have to think about precautions and think about money and everything. And then you go then to your if and then plan. Then it helps you to plan. So it has been shown that doing this WOOP method allows us to get our goals into reality. So before I leave, I'd like for us to think about this reflection question. What goals have I set for myself or for my family lately? What goals have I set? And that actually concludes my presentation. I know I went above a bit, 30 minutes, but I hope you were able to pick up some buckets of learning. And basically, this is it. No? So for body, exercise and sleep. For the mind, savoring, connection, and kindness. And for the spirit, gratitude, meditation, and goal setting. Okay. Then these are the well-being habits that, when practiced well, will increase and boost your happiness levels even during these times of pandemic. Thank you very much. And Judy.
Yes, all right. Thank you so much, Sir Lee. No, that was a very informative and insightful presentation. I really like all of the tips and habits, no, you've shared, Sir Lee, on taking care and building habits for our mental health and physical well-being. I love the part on the habit of savoring, really being in the moment,
Yes.
because really tend to worry what's gonna happen next. So it's a really practical habit, no, that's really attainable, that could really help us ease the feeling of anxiety, no. So the habit.
And Judy, it's free. It's free. Whatever you have now in your life, you can re-savor them. And
Yes.
then you could also go to your phone and check out those pictures that you had before. A picture about something that was a vacation with your friends and family, and then review it. You'd actually have a boost of happiness as well. Just re-savoring. You could also do a re-savoring of those happy moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed, early. So yeah, also the habit of increasing your kindness, no. That value really helps not just yourself, no, having that feeling of positivity, because you're able to help someone or be kind to someone, no. It
Yeah.
not just
That's
yourself
right.
but also others,
That's
of
right,
spreading
Judy.
that, yeah, that
And
vibe.
then for me personally, that's the habit that is most challenging, especially when there are people unkind to you, and your challenge is to be kind to them. And then that's the challenge there, to be kind to those people who are unkind to you. And, I'm still struggling with it, no, but it's in my bucket list, and that's something that I remind myself that being kind to them actually is more of a gift to myself rather than to them.
Yeah, I agree, sir. So I'm also working on that.
Yeah.
So yes, early. No, I know we're actually running out of time, but I have a few questions here from our
Yes.
viewers. No, so let's just really try to address this. So first question, really, is just how do I deal with constantly feeling overwhelmed?
Mm. Okay.
Give.
Yes. That's a very good reality. That's a reality that happens to lots of people, being perhaps overwhelmed with work or overwhelmed with thoughts. No? And one of the things that I really learned from Yale University is that the mind is such a fantastic thing, no? That it's like a magnifying glass. It magnifies the things that we constantly think about. So definitely, if we think about our work, or the pressure, if we think about that, then that will magnify, and that will it will make it feel heavier. It will really overwhelm us, especially if we focus on the things that are outside of our control. So, for example, this pandemic, if we constantly think about it, there's nothing that we can do about the global pandemic, but there's something that we can do for ourselves and for our families, and that's wear a mask, make sure that there's physical distancing and everything. So there are things we can do, and if we focus on the things that gives us happiness, it will actually allow our mind to not focus on the things that will overwhelm us. So, yeah, I think my best answer would be to perhaps use gratitude, focusing on the things that you are grateful for, or focusing your meditating on a brighter future, no? And not focusing so much on the things that would overwhelm us. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Agrees really, no. So thank you for that. So leader, here's another question, no. Is it also important to maintain a healthy lifestyle for you to also maintain a healthy mind and well?
Yes, definitely, Judy. One of my assumptions, no, while crafting this course is that one of my assumptions is that your health is okay and you are okay financially, because this will fall under Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Definitely, if your physical needs are not being met, then that will take priority. So definitely taking care of the mind, eating good would definitely make sure that we would have, it will also help our biochemical processes in our mind that releases serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, and improves our happiness. And taking care of ourselves, our health, and of course, our source of income is definitely a big source of well-being as well. No? So one thing that really pops into my mind is that a picture of somebody just counting dollars, and the caption says, "This is the best form of therapy." No? Counting your dollars, though. So, but then there's a whole different literature about it as to how much money would be okay and make us still in that good well-being. But definitely taking care of our body and taking care of our work, our sources of income, definitely also helps in terms of keeping our well-being at a high level.
Yep. I agree. That was, yeah, I agree with that, Sir Lino. So every one of us really has their own ways of, keeping that right vibe, no. So even those counting dollars, if that brings you activity, then go for it. But
yeah.
so yeah, that's pretty much it, Sir Lino. Those are the questions. So just to close the this very insightful and valuable session, what if you could share as well a takeaway message for our viewers right now, no?
Yes, definitely. No? One of the reasons why I really am keen on sharing these well-being habits is because I would want everybody to be at their best, even during this time of pandemic. No? As the saying goes, no, quarantine means quarantine. We have to make sure that after this pandemic, we are even more awesome, or we have upgraded ourselves. No? So the pandemic now is not an excuse for us to lag behind or to degrade, but the pandemic should be a challenge for us to upgrade. And one of the ways for us to upgrade during this time of pandemic is to improve our well-being. Because if we have good well-being, it will definitely help other people as well. It will improve our relationships, our personal relationships. It would also make us more engaged, makes us more happy doing work, gives us more meaning and more purpose. So, and of course, for those who are married out there, no, a happy wife is a happy life. That's why I always make sure that my wife out there is happy, so that I will also have a happy life. So this is something that some extent is an advocacy for me to make sure that people are reaching happier levels, not because it can. Possibly siya. It's possible to increase our well-being even during this time of pandemic. And it's something that I'm seeing that is a need for us. Okay, because for Filipinos, for Filipinos, we are more productive when we are happy. And then for Filipinos, if you're not happy, definitely there's a dip in terms of your productivity as well. So the more happy Filipinos, the more happy Rafinians, the better Cebu and the nation will be.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Lido. I hope everyone got those. Find this session very valuable, no? And especially during this time. So thank you, Sir Leo. I'd like to thank again Sir Leo for sharing his time and expertise this afternoon. I know our viewers gained a lot of insights, no, on the importance of ensuring our well-being is taken care of, especially during these difficult times, no. So indeed, when we are more mindful of our well-being, we can better take care of others. So each one of us is a leader in different aspects of our lives. It can be in our families, at work, or in our communities. No, so the pandemic has brought a new set of challenges that we must learn to overcome, and to overcome these challenges requires confidence and empathetic leaders. No, just so our featured program today, no, is the RAFI Center for Leaders. So the RAFI Center for Leaders can partner with your organization to provide learning and development programs that equip leaders and enable communities through world-class, safe, powerful learning experience. No, so I just really want to take this time to invite you guys, no, to engage with the RAFI CFL, no, or Center for Leaders. If you need anything, if you need any help, no, or support in improving your organization in terms of training and development. So we actually cater, no, to both professionals and youth groups. If your organization is interested, no, in learning about topics such as on leadership, resilience, of course, the well-being habits, no, the RAFI Center for Leaders can really help. So to learn more, you can visit our Facebook page, no, at Cool Adventure Camp. Maybe our teammates, no, from RAFI can post the link on the comment section, or see what courses are available through our online booking calendar at www.rafi.org.ph. So also, before we officially end, would like to know how we're doing with our webinars. So would really appreciate if you could give us your feedback and comments through our evaluation form that will be sent by our teammates through the comment sections. So that's just a brief form, guys. No, let us know your feedbacks, or if you have any suggestions for improvement. So no, I'd like to thank all of you for watching this afternoon, and we hope you'll join us next month in our next episodes. In line with RAFI's vision of touching people, shaping the future, we hope that our session today has made you more aware of what we can do amidst this pandemic and how we can move forward confidently into the new normal. Thank you so much for joining, and remember,
Judy, let's also thank all those who gave the reactions and comments in Facebook. I've been informed that Jackie is very, very active, and also like to appreciate May Gonzalez also for your comments, and for all those who commented and gave their scores. I really appreciate your time being here with us. I appreciate you all, and I hope you were able to pick up some buckets of information that may help you thrive and have a happier and fuller life during these times of crisis. Much love to everybody. Amping Mungpanan. Thank you, Judy.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Stay safe. Thank you.
we are in full force. We have a lot of our instructors here with us. We will present to you
Handa na ba kayo?
Self-discovery. Journey of growth.